Hi, Poppy Red Mustang. I saw you on the laptop. Happy Thanksgiving. Just popping in for a few minutes to say hello, see how everybody's doing, and hope that your chat will actually come up on this screen. I have you on charge. Hi, Ashley Payne. Poppy Red Mustang. First of all, can you hear me? I always like to check and make sure you can actually hear me. Ooh, the sun is bright through this window. Okay, thank you, Poppy. What's for dinner? Well, it's AP. Hi, AP. Long time no see. Now I see your avatar or whatever that little thing's called. Hi, Kenna. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for calling me Susie. Pardon me. In response to Poppy Red Mustang, Bob has been smoking a rack of ribs since this morning, and love you too, AP. And he just came in a few minutes ago and said, I think they're ready for me to pull. Kitty, hang on. Get down. Hi, flies. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, all right. So Bob has smoked a rack of ribs. And because it's just the two of us this year, you had to smoke Boston butt. I'm so sorry. I have to keep clearing my throat. I know that's irritating. I am about to peel some potatoes to boil for potato salad. I've already boiled off 4 eggs to make deviled eggs. And we're going to have baked beans and store-bought dinner rolls. I heard my husband hollering in the back, and I thought something was wrong. He speaks. If you guys can hear Bob, Poppy, it smells delicious too. If you can hear Bob on the phone, although he's in another room, Bob has a hearing problem, and so like an old feller, he speaks very loudly when he's on the phone. So I think he's calling family members to say Happy Thanksgiving. And what I was going to say too about Happy Thanksgiving, I used the same copyright-free downloaded image that I got from Google for the thumbnail here that I used on the community post a bit ago to say that, if I could get my phone charged up, that we would go live for a little while. And after I posted it, I realized that it says Happy Thanksgivings. I haven't taken any time to research and see if that is the plural, but I don't think it is. So I thought that was kind of cute that the Happy Thanksgivings. So I'm going to pretend that it's plural. And babies, as always, your chat keeps disappearing. And anybody that was here for a live like a week or so ago, the commands on my phone screen are positioned a little bit differently since a recent YouTube update, or at least some sort of update. And when I attempt to bring up all chat or live chat, it kept taking me out of the live stream, like trying to end the live stream. So I have my laptop over there. So I've got myself all pushed up into this corner. Hi, Tennessee Twister. Trying to not be blinded by the light. I'm also speaking more loudly than normal trying to keep you guys from being distracted from not only television in the background, but Bob speaking very loudly to somebody. Hi, I'm out. Hang on a second. Let me know. Let me let him know he's speaking really loudly. Hang on a second. Maybe I can hear you yelling. You're yelling. I had to find the right room that he was in. He didn't realize he was yelling. Puppy Red Mustang, doesn't that happen a lot? No, Flies. He's talking to his mom, my mother-in-law, on the phone, and he has the speakerphone on and he's holding the phone like way out here. He didn't realize he was yelling. But yeah, Poppy, I do the same thing. By the time I get finished preparing the sides to go with these smoked ribs, I'm not going to be hungry. And it happens to me almost every time when I cook a big meal. I don't have a huge appetite anyway. So, um, if you guys want to hang out with me for a minute, and I'm going to take my eyes off of chat, I really need to peel these potatoes. And as soon as I can get them peeled and into some boiling water, or into some water and try to bring them up to a boil, I will move the phone. Hi, Nada. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll move the phone over nearer the laptop or bring the laptop over here, one or the other, so that I can actually see your live chat. I suppose I should say, in case there are any folks in the bushes, hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to Lip Lock No More. Today is pretty much an absolutely content-free live stream, just to say happy Thanksgiving. And so there's all kinds of things going on in the background, like right now, I've got a kitty cat trying to mess with my Thanksgiving decorations. No, kitty. So if you want to hang out for a few minutes and chat with each other, that would be totally awesome and cool. And if you can't hang out and you are otherwise occupied, that's totally cool, because after all, it's your Thanksgiving. And I feel thankful that you've chosen to click over and join in. So, yeah. So it's going to be a crazy one. Gonna take a sentimental journey. I'm gonna set my heart at ease. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. I got my bag, I got my reservation. I spent each dime I could afford. I'm just doing 2 potatoes because it's just Bob and I. And just like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we'll meet at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven and counting every mile of railroad track. Boop. That takes me back. Boom, 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 boom. I never knew my heart could be so yearning. Oh, why did I decide to roam? I'm gonna take a sentimental journey. A sentimental journey home. 'Cause 7, that's the time we'll meet at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven and counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. I never knew my heart could be so yearning. Oh, why did I decide to roam? I'm gonna make a sentimental journey. A sentimental rinsing the starch off. A sentimental journey home. Oh, hi, Susan. Hi, September Virgo. Got to get these boiling. You gonna get the ribs? Okie dokie. Okay. He just kicked the bowl of cat food. He's going to get the ribs. Hang on a second. We're going to move over. We're going to move over here in a minute. He just kicked the bowl of cat food again. Don't worry about it, baby. He's going to get it. Pardon us while we take this brief, impromptu, and unexpected pause in our content-free live stream while the boss is sweeping up the cat food. Oh. He knows how to sweep a floor and a whole lot more. Hi, G. Brecky. Oh. Hang on. We are going to move here in a minute. I'm just waiting for things to calm down a bit. Okay, shall we leave them wrapped up to rest? Is that what we're going to do while I'm doing my part?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Did you talk to Mom and Sis?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. Well, I am running live, so I'm going to get back to it over here. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm going to unplug you from charging and move over out of the... Ooh. Where I can see you a little bit better. Hi, babes. I can look at your chat over here. And attempt to make sure that I haven't missed anyone in live chat. I know, September Virgo, it's really tough to find good help these days. As a matter of fact, yesterday, the maid just totally blew off vacuuming the living room floor. And I told my hubby, Bob, the boss, that I thought he should fire the maid. And so he just looked up at me and goes, "You're fired." He got up and started walking into the bedroom, and I followed along like a puppy dog. And I was like, wait. Can I just be suspended without pay temporarily? He was like, "No, you're fired." Oh, so how are you guys? Are you having Thanksgiving? Do you even celebrate Thanksgiving? A lot of people, it's just another day. Puppy Red Mustang, I fired that beach. I know it's really odd that I have to keep looking over here to see your chat babies, but I've already explained. And so, around here, we just have to do things the way we have to do them. So, yeah. So the potatoes are on. And now ordinarily, I would boil my potatoes whole and then peel the jackets off and cube them for potato salad. But I fiddled around it being a holiday and all. And I think that Bob may have to fire the cook now as well, because as you see, he just brought in the ribs that he's been smoking for a number of hours outside. Although it's sunny, it is quite chilly here in north central Arkansas. So he's been out there for hours maintaining that 250-degree Fahrenheit that he is so picky about in the smoker. While I rather than getting the potatoes boiled, I was sitting in the day bed putting together a jigsaw puzzle on my phone. So now what I'm going to have to do is be very careful that I don't overcook, and end up with like soggy mashed potato salad. So, all right, let me pop these back on so I can see something. Grateful Cat Mama, I'm seeing your name come up in chat. Hi. Grateful Cat Mama, you're trying to pretend it's just another day. I don't want to pry. So I'm glad I went live. I had said the other day that if I didn't see you guys, or something like that, if I didn't see you guys before Thanksgiving, that I would try to come on just a little while today, just in case there's anybody out there that needed a place, kind of laid back and calm and welcoming, on such a day as today. Like I said, it's very sunny here, but also very chilly and a bit windy. But I don't have any content for you. Hi, Mystic Butterfly. Other than these side dishes that I'm preparing. So I suppose hi, Ramblin' Rome. Gobble gobble day. Yeah. And while I'm battling Will-O-the-Wisp, who wants to keep getting up on the counter for some reason, and of course that means I have to keep sanitizing the counter. I mean, I keep a pad on the table. We don't ever sit at the kitchen table to eat. We just don't. It's been years. So there is a feeding station on the dining room table, just as I'm just jacking my jaws, coming up with something to say. Okay. One of the rescue cats here, her name is Patches, Pretty Patty Patches. She is emotionally challenged. She's been picked on and whatnot, and intimidated to a point that I had to create her own feeding station on our kitchen table. So, and the reason that I say that is I realize that people will see that in the background from time to time. And there are folks, and understandably so, that would be like, ooh, yuck, she's got cat food and a cat watering dish and a pad on her kitchen table. How unsanitary. Yes, indeed, it is. But even though we don't actually eat at the table or use it for food prep or anything at all, actually for human use, it has a glass top on it so that I can sanitize it a couple of times a day. So, yeah, September Virgo, she, hi, Ann Coons. I think that's Ann Coons. I think I remembered it. Ann, is that you, darling? Give her a better chair to eat. It's happened only within the last year or so here. And Bob nor I actually witnessed what took place. For a number of years, She was just like any of the other rescues here. And one day, well, she started going pee-pee in a corner where there was no litter box. Hey, Anne. And then we noticed just an altered behavior. So I don't know if something happened overnight with her and the other cats, but since she has become this way and she's very skittish now, it's like they want to pick on her. And it's, you know, what do? You make accommodations if you're a cat rescuer. So that's what we did, made accommodations. So yes, September Virgo, she's in a safe place. Yeah. So let's have a little reading since I don't really have anything. Oh, but I actually need to be working on deviled eggs. What should I do? Grateful Cat Mama, she's afraid of every other cat in this house. And there are several, all rescues, of course. The cats that we have maintained inside the residence are either special needs in one way or another, or they were like orphaned before they were weaned, and so had to be hand raised with kitten formula, an eyedropper, burped like a baby, being very careful that they don't aspirate, all of that business. And so if they were hand raised, they never go outside. Wang Cheng, Cheetah Burrito, for example, is FIV positive. And so he never goes outside. So, like I was saying, we don't know what happened. It's like something scared her and she never got over it. Willow doesn't tend to pick on her, to answer your question more directly. It's more the two boys out of the triplets, Trey and Deuce. And they don't try to fight with her. It's just like if they even attempt to approach her, she begins to hiss and hunker down. Her safest place and her most favorite place, when Bob is in his easy chair. She slips in beside his outer thigh and the arm of his chair, and she wraps her tail around his arm and just sits there with him quietly. So let me see. Trying to find us something that I can read that's not too long, because I don't want to stay on a whole long time. Not only do I have the things to accomplish, but as I said, why I'm here. Keep you company for a little bit if you need it. All right, here's one. Hi, fruit fly. Hi, fruit fly. We have been reading from Getting the Most Out of Life. It's an anthology. Oh, September Virgo. Oh, okay, I will. Let's see if I can like that over here. And sweetheart, I'm going, hi, Carrie Bishop. Happy Thanksgiving, my darling. September Virgo, honey, since I'm going straight to YouTube, I don't use StreamYard anymore because it's too glitchy and it just, okay. I can't highlight your super chat, but thank you, September Virgo, for your $10 super chat to get something special for Patches the next time I'm out. It's good to see you too, Carrie Bishop. Well, let me check my taters. Get down. I put them on medium so they wouldn't come up too fast. Like I said, I don't want to overcook them. So, back to what I was saying. Getting the Most Out of Life, an anthology published by the Reader's Digest in 1946. It's a compilation of short stories that are biographical or autobiographical. And kitties just really want, hi, Seen the Darkness. The kitties are just really wanting to drive me nuts today. I'm already nutty enough. So I have not pre-read this, so I may likely humiliate or make a fool of myself by coming across a word that I cannot pronounce, and I have no idea what we are about to learn, but we want to remember the title of the book, Getting the Most Out of Life. So we know it's going to be something positive, and maybe there'll be some humor in there. Here we go. I have new Christmas lights right there that I need to get up tomorrow. Time to get out the Christmas decor tomorrow. One holiday at a time, that's my policy. The 7 Points of Departure, excerpt from the Atlantic Monthly, written by William F. H. Godson, Jr. Every time you pay a call, there is a departure to be made. Many other occasions also require departures. In addition to calls, there are many times when people are together and must eventually separate. Who shall make the first move? This is sometimes a hard question, and we shall not attempt to answer it here. Let us beg it by assuming that you are to make the move. Our immediate problem then is to determine how to do it. Kitty? More spilling of cat food. She's wanting to get my pie crust. That's what she's after. All of us can call to mind guests who would not, possibly could not, take their leave. We may have lost patience with them. Would it not be fairer, however, to admit that the situation is a difficult one, calling for special treatment? Approaching the matter in this frame of mind, I have given it much thought, and I now submit what I believe to be a complete solution. It is a solution, I may add, that has stood the test of actual practice. I shall present it analytically as, quote, the 7 points of departure, close quote. Thank you, Carrie. 1, stand up. 2, hold out your hand. 3, say goodbye. 4, go to the door. 5, open the door. 6, walk out. 7, walk away. That is all there is to it. It sounds too simple to be true, and that, I admit, is the one weakness of my solution. The neophyte, therefore, must be warned to keep his wits about him, for experience has shown that every stage of this ritual is attended by unsuspected dangers. These will have to be mentioned briefly. 1. Stand up. It is not always easy to stand up. As in the case of a plunge into cold water, there is a mental hazard to be overcome. It is easier, of course, to squirm in your seat, to say, to look toward the door, to wish that the rug under your feet were the wishing rug, to do anything, in short, but rise. To effect the necessary first move, an act of will is called for. Remember that you wish to leave, and that it is difficult to do so without rising. Not impossible, of course. You could fall in a faint and be carried out. This maneuver, however, is a delicate one, not to be recommended except in great emergencies. Ordinarily, a departure cannot be successfully engineered without rising. So face the inevitable, and stand up. The beginner may hearten himself with the knowledge that rising in company becomes increasingly easy with practice. 2, hold out your hand. Here again, there is a mental hazard. Will it help to put your hands in your pocket? Need you wait for the end of the current antidote? Should you accompany the offer of your hand with some banality such as, I must be running along now? No, all this is quite superfluous. Just hold out your hand. Most well-bred persons will understand the signal, but what if your hand is ignored? After all, one should be prepared for everything. Suppose your hostess is not seeing, or distraught, or occupied, or rude. Does the rule fit such a situation? Of course it does. You will observe that nothing was said about shaking hands. It is true that this usually occurs, so much the better. If not, your hand will soon get heavy. So drop it. This completes the gesture, and you are ready to advance to the next point. 3, say goodbye. Why say goodbye? People have often asked me this question, and I shall be frank about it. It is not strictly necessary from the utilitarian point of view, but it will save you from being considered strange. Since I devised my system, many of my acquaintances have tried to detain me, and none have succeeded. This has occasioned much wonder among them, and yet I dare say that not one has suspected me of having a system. Hi, Earthy. For this desirable state of affairs, I give entire credit to the use of the word goodbye. I therefore recommend it. Hi to Jennifer. 4. Hi, Chico. 4. Go to the door. If you think it is easy to go to the door, you have never seen a genuine victim of inertia in action. Such a one can spend hours between rising and leaving. He may even sit down again. So, do not underestimate the difficulties at this point. Do not forget that in order to get to the door, you will have to move your feet. Very well then. Move them. 5, open the door. Let me check my taters right quick. I gotta stick them with a fork. See if they're, okay, we're good. So interrupt the flow of the reading, but I don't want to overcook my taters. Okay, here we go. 5, open the door. At this point, you will get a real thrill of achievement. Like the first streak of daylight that brings hope to the victims trapped in a coal mine, the sight of the door will cheer you with its promise of ultimate escape. Y'all, as I'm reading this, I'm thinking about how many family holiday gatherings, etc., I have attended that I wish I had had this plan. Okay, here we go. Often, of course, someone will take his stand between you and the exit. Go around him. Or again, someone may reach the door ahead of you only to possess the doorknob without turning it. This is not unusual, and you must be prepared to take whatever measures may be required to deal with this situation. Do not hesitate to strike down. Oh my God. Hey. Y'all, I am not going to edit this material. Hi, Morris. I am not going to edit this material. I'm reading it as it is written, and that's how it's going to be. So the next line is, okay, for context, let me back up. Okay. Don't anybody take this literally. This is my disclaimer. I'm reading from a book. Okay. On the 7 points of departure, and we're on point 5. Often, of course, someone will take his stand between you and the exit. Go around him. Or again, someone may reach the door ahead of you only to possess the doorknob without turning it. This is not unusual, and you must be prepared to take whatever measures may be required to deal with this situation. Do not hesitate to strike down the offender in cold blood if need be. Wouldn't a good start get the fuck out of my way too? Okay. Going on. If the obstructionist is a woman and you have scruples against hitting a woman, a playful push may do the trick. Choose a method to fit the circumstances and open the door. Oh my goodness. Who? You know that when we read the other day about breathing deeply, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm breathing deeply and hoping I don't get struck down by YouTube for what I just read. Okay, 6, walk out. Oh my goodness. The principle that applies here is precisely the same as that which I laid down under Rule 4, which is go to the door. Remember, Rule 4 is go to the door. Okay. Think of the many groups you have seen leaning against open doors in different stages of exhaustion and boredom. I should have read this before I read it to you guys. Okay, going on. For shame. Do not lend yourself to such a scene. If you lose your courage at this point, your hostess will be sure to say sweetly, "Oh, do come in and sit down again." This is a sure sign, which means only one thing: walk out. 7. Walk away. And to carry off smoothly this final part of the program, you must not leave anything behind, nor must your wife or husband or significant other or plus one. Okay, I added all that. But if you do leave something, let it go forever. What is a mere cigarette case or diamond necklace? Leave it. I cannot say too emphatically, and I do so without fear of contradiction, that the most important part of my whole system is to walk away. The end. The original article was copywritten in 1933 by the Atlantic Monthly Company, 8 Arlington Street in Boston, Massachusetts. The condensed version that I have just read is copywritten by the Reader's Digest Association, Incorporated, in December of 1933. And the admonition that I give as we're reading through our book when we finish a story. In the words of Samuel Clemens, also known as Mark Twain, from any experience, take only the wisdom from it and stop there. So let's not be striking anyone down or, let's just say goodbye and go through the 7 steps. Be prepared for anything that would alter our plan for exiting, and proceed without any forms of violence whatsoever. That's my disclaimer. Hi, Sherry. Less fortunate than us, grammatical error corrected from previous statement. See, Sherry, you and I are like that, Sherry. Hi, Patty Graham. When I'm in a live chat on YouTube, and I'm more often than not, I'm using talk to text, and my phone doesn't particularly understand. I'm not going to blame my enunciation, my diction, my articulation. No, it's my phone's fault. And often, Sherry, I will hit send without having proofread. And then the minute that it actually hits the live chat, I'm like, that's not what I said. And then I will go in manually and asterisk, 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 and then put the word I meant, not the word it was. And Patty, you do that too. And I'm working on not using punctuation in live chats to save characters. It's so hard for me. It's so hard for me to not use punctuation. Like super hard. and the misspelling of words and stuff. And then tuck and roll out the door, boom, you're forever labeled stranger. Let me go over here and stick my taters with a fork again, y'all. They are done. Hang on for a minute, babes, please. We're fixing to get off of here. I'm not going to bore you by making deviled eggs. Got to get a colander. Okay, so I'm going to let those sit there and cool off. I know September, Virgo. It's I find that, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done any like home ec studies or anything like that on it. But I find that if you rinse potatoes really, really well and get all the starch off of them that you can before you actually cook them, they tend to cook faster. It may be just something in my head. Also, September, I get them when I'm boiling potatoes. I get them boiling really quickly, like on a medium high heat, and then I turn it down to like a medium low once the water is boiling. So I don't know. Well, Sherry, honey, don't dox yourself. I don't know where you live, but if you lived close enough, I'd say bring it on, girlfriend. I've got some Afghan and I've got some Royal Highness that I'm going to enjoy here in a little while. So, darlings, I got nothing else. If I missed you in the live chat, please accept my sincere apologies. As a matter of fact, the reason I'm just standing here now, kind of stalling and dragging my feet is just to see if I've missed anyone here. It's a holiday. I think them taters will be good. I make potato salad the way my mother did, the way my sister did. You know, it's pretty plain. Couple of dollops of real mayonnaise, a little squirt of yellow mustard, real finely chopped sweet pickle, a little salt, sometimes a pinch of sugar. I know that sounds odd to some people, but once in a while a pinch of sugar. And just, you know, I mash the crap out of the yolks with a fork. Mix it all together and then do like you do. Refill the little half egg white and sprinkle a little paprika on top, or, you know, maybe along with that, maybe a garnish of a little piece of a pickle, something like that. Well, thank you, Patty, that you're going to watch replay, honey. It's, oh, yes, an onion. Thank you, Poppy Red Mustang, of course, an onion. And maybe, yeah, real finely chopped onion. Yeah. So before we say goodbye, I want to say to you guys some of the things I'm thankful for. Just some of them. And I want you to know that I'm not thankful for the things that I'm about to just out of the top of my head randomly list that I am thankful for. I'm not just thankful on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, it's nice that there's a day set aside on the calendar to remind us that we should be thankful for things. But I'm of a mind that there are many things we should be thankful for every single day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm thankful that I woke up. I'm thankful that I'm alive and breathing. When my feet swing out of the bed and hit the floor, I'm grateful that I am ambulatory. And then I realize that I'm thinking and I'm seeing and I'm hearing and I'm smelling and I can feel things. I'm grateful for all of that. Once I make my way out of the bed, I'm grateful, depending on the season, that I have warmth or I have cool. I'm grateful that I have clothing, I have a place to live, and the food to sustain a healthy life. I'm grateful that I have clean water that's safe for me to drink, that I have electricity to turn on the lights. I'm grateful that I have indoor plumbing. I was potty trained in a two-holer outhouse in Baxter County, Arkansas, in a house that had electricity but no running water, no plumbing, as a matter of fact, a cistern, and a dry sink, and wash tubs, along with a wood cook stove. I'm grateful I have electricity to power this one up. You know what else? I'm grateful to the people who make sure that that happens. Not only my higher power, but the human beings that facilitate all of that. I'm grateful that they get up and go to work every day to make sure that when I turn the tap, the water comes out clean and safe. And when I flip the switch, the electricity comes on. And when I turn the knob, the oven. Y'all see where I'm going? Be thankful every day for everything, even the challenges. What makes you stronger? Facing a challenge? What gives you courage? Being brave in the face of your fear? What else? Oh my goodness. I'm grateful that my husband went through all the same things this morning I went through, and he was able to smoke a rack of ribs and kick the cat dish a couple of times and then sweep it up. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for their spouses. I'm grateful for my grandchildren. I'm grateful for my great grandchildren. I could go on and on and on, y'all. I think you understand where I'm coming from. And lastly, I should use my adverbs, huh? I'm grateful and thankful for y'all. Thank you. every single one of you. I've explained before that I'm clear on I beg your pardon, on parasocial relationships. I know what that is. My mama didn't raise no dummy. So I know you guys know me a whole heck of a lot better than I know you. As a matter of fact, I don't really know you at all. But I can surmise what type of person you are based on your chat. Not only here, but in other places when I see you. You're all good eggs. So thank you for helping make this channel what it is. It is our channel, not mine. And I hope that every single one of you, regardless, of your personal situation today, if you need comfort, I pray you get comfort. If you need strength, I pray you get strength. If you need love, I pray you get love. Whatever your need may be. Don't ever forget there's one batshit crazy old lady out here in the hills and hollers of Arkansas who really does love you regardless. Because God doesn't give me any other choice but to love you. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm getting a bit too sentimental. So, hi, Sunny. I'm going to repeat what I was kind of mulling over a while ago and then say goodbye. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. I'm gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. I got my bag, I got my reservation. I spent each dime I could afford, just like a child in wild anticipation. I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we'll leave at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. I never knew my heart could be so yearning. Oh, why did I decide to roam? I'm gonna take a sentimental journey, a sentimental journey home. 7, that's the time we'll meet up. 7, and I'll be waiting up for heaven and counting every mile of the railroad track that brings me back. I never knew my heart could be so yearning. Babies, happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. God bless and keep you until we meet again. Now, go use your superpower, kindness. It'll come back to you tenfold when you least expect it, but you need it the most. But also use that other superpower, discernment, always remembering there are snakes out in that grass and they don't deserve the gold you have in your heart. So, we're going to practice the 7 steps of separation. I'm going to rise. I'm going to put out my hand. I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to skip all the other steps and head for the door while there's nobody else standing over there with their hand on the knob. I love you. Now, behave yourselves. Counting every mile of that railroad track that takes me back